Okay, so 5e Star Wars D&D is happening, and it's happening next year. We're getting the drop. It's real, but right now it is more announcement teaser than finished game reveal. Wizards of the Coast announced D&D Star Wars: The Season of Rebellion just a few days ago, and it is scheduled for that 2027 release. It's going to be a part of the new Universes Beyond line following the upcoming D&D World of Warcraft adaptation, which personally I'm not so excited about the World of Warcraft thing. I'm kind of like old graybeard grognard about it, but like in an angry way. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, "Arr, World of Warcraft D&D, that was what ruined 4E." Yeah, whatever. They made it up to me real quick, and they're making it up to all of us who aren't really into that WoW thing. And they're doing it by announcing Star Wars Season of Rebellion. That's great. That just it's an emotional roller coaster going from old grognard, to from like yelling at the clouds about it to oh yay Star Wars, this is great. It's hilarious when you take things so seriously. It's just a child's game. Anyway, the reveal ended with Darth Vader appearing on stage and igniting his lightsaber. And yeah, Wizards didn't announce like a full final product lineup as far as page counts, prices, rules details, or even whether it's going to be just one book, several books, or like just one single starter game in a box or something. But we'll find out all that in due time as they spoon feed us the information. It is in fact an official Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons collaboration, not merely a third-party 5e compatible product. So that's cool. Uh, it's all going to be set apparently in during the Rebellion. So that's, in my opinion, the best era to role play in Star Wars. And if there can be a best one, that would be it, right? And really, this Universes Beyond thing, it's really interesting to me. People really don't like it in Magic the Gathering. A lot of influencers out there are trying to make people think what they think, because people don't like to think for themselves. They like to have thoughts implanted in their mind and have other people think for them. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like the Universes Beyond and Magic the Gathering. But look, have no fear. Universes Beyond for D&D is not a replacement for the normal Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, Ravenloft, Dragonlance, and other setting material. Okay, they're still going to be doing that, and they're moving to third parties so they can expand more content in that direction, which is really cool. All right, but the obvious expectation is the word rebellion. All right, this is going to probably have joint branding with like. Darth Vader making appearances in some of the storylines, which point strongly toward like Luke and Leia and Han Solo and the Rebel Alliance, the Empire, all being huge central points to this whole thing. This is just completely amazing, and really, almost certainly, it's yeah, almost certainly. I think it's going to be awesome as long as it's at least mediocre. As long as they don't completely drop the ball, people are just going to be dumping money into this. That's my opinion, because that's what everybody does with all Star Wars products. I've never seen a Star Wars product fail. I'm sure they've had some failures, but I mean, even the movies that weren't so great, did they really fail? Did they though? Really? I mean, people still watch the hell out of them. And what is important, I think, going forward is that uh, they don't necessarily retain all of the ordinary D&D classes. I think that what needs to happen is that there are new classes created that are specific Star Wars classes and subclassing with extensive flavoring. And we need that 1 through 20 level progression system. If we can put all that together by not just reskinning the spells so they're Jedi powers, but actually have all full uniqueness to them. Like it would be a shallow conversion to have wizard spells or force powers now, crossbows or blasters, spelljammers, ships or starfighters. That would be a mistake. We need a full blown, just new system for this that is compatible with 5.5 in a way that is easy to understand and is a credible Star Wars implementation. We need substantial bespoke systems for blasters, cover, armor, lightsaber combat, force traditions, droids, starships, vehicle scale, and cinematic chases, right? We need to have some really cool rules for those, for those chases. I mean, come on. Those are some of the best parts in any Star Wars movie. And we need to have the proper character archetypes. The Jedi, obviously, people that are force sensitive. We need soldiers, scoundrels, bounty hunters, diplomat, technicians, slicers, and pilot character archetypes. Species going into the thing straight out of the gate. We need humans, Twi'leks, Wookiees, rules for Rodians, Bothans, Mon Calamari. Droids would obviously also be an early candidate. We need proper force mechanics. Hopefully, a dedicated force resource system rather than merely renaming spell slots. Dark side temptation, maybe dark side points. Fear, anger, and moral consequences are central to Star Wars, and we need to have that brought into the ordinary D&D alignment system, in my humble opinion. All right. As far as the technologies are concerned, well, there's a lot to go over. You know, blasters, ion weapons, shields, cybernetics, slicing, restraining bolts, Bacta tanks, explosives, and customizable equipment all need to be in there. We need the vehicle rule system to be robust. Speeders, walkers, starfighters, capital ships, dogfights, crew positions, and ship modifications, especially ship modifications for all us techie nerds that play RPGs, which are basically the core of the fan base. Well, these can be some of the most difficult elements to get right. So the vehicle rules need to be like something that they go over with a fine-tooth comb. And really, mechanically, yeah, I think 5e can handle the heroic cinematic Star Wars RPG structure from Fantasy Flight Games rather well, and more like a watered down version that we understand, that even kids could understand. See, that was the issue with Fantasy Flight Games. You had to be like a calculus major to understand the dice system. You know, every time I would play it, or not, I never played it, I would DM it. I would, every time before a session, I would have to look at YouTube videos on the rules for the dice system to remind me going into every session, because it's very complicated. So if we throw complicated dice systems out the window and we have a more streamlined 5e dice system, that is a win for me, as long as it's not broken. So yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with this. It's not Wizards' first trip around the galaxy with Star Wars role playing. Everybody remembers the D20 system if you're a graybeard. And that was a great system for Star Wars back in the day. A lot of people played that. But yeah, the Saga Edition became the standard real quickly because it was just better, you know. So why don't Wizards of the Coast, they make up for that, and they give us something that's better than the Saga Edition, that's better than Fantasy Flight Games, and they just get the right people in there and get it done. This is the time to do it. This is the time to not drop the ball. I am little more than cautiously interested, let's just say. All right, Star Wars is one of the outside properties that can genuinely fit D&D's heroic adventure structure, but only if Wizards treats it as a major conversion, not a licensed coat of paint. You know what I mean? You can't just reskin 5e. It needs to be done right, and that's how I think it should be done right, basically, as I explained. At least those are some. That's just my advice. That's my consultation on the matter, for whatever it's worth. For all of you indie guys out there, for your publishing interests, assume the material will remain a closed licensed IP. Nothing in the announcement open Star Wars to the DMs Guild or any of that. So I would not begin developing a commercial Star Wars 5e product unless Wizards and Lucasfilm announce a specific creator program. That's just the bottom line. So anyway, that's all I have for you right now. If you're interested in following this story and getting some more updates from the Dungeon Master perspective, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can join my Star Wars 5e D&D Season of Rebellion Facebook group. It's a group that's specifically for Dungeon Masters, okay? So if you're looking to play the game, don't join, all right? There's going to be a lot of spoilers as the group grows and we get closer to release time, all right? So anyway, thanks for everything. Thanks for chilling. Peace out.